Can an architect truly help bring change in society? Can the quality of built space make lives of people better? A lot of people think not, but maybe your perception might change by the end of this video. But why am I talking about this? Is this video not about the Pritzker Prize winner of the year 2022, Diébédo Francis Kéré? Yup, it is. But to understand why he won his Pritzker, we also need to ask what is the essence of his architecture. In this video, we will look at who Francis Kéré is, what is his body of work like, and why was he selected for this prize. But more importantly, how do his structures connect with the lives of the people and of communities? Welcome to Blessedarch, and today on this channel, we are looking at the life and designs of the Pritzker winner for the year 2022, Diébédo Francis Kéré. The announcement of this year's prize is not only exciting because of the work that Francis Kéré has done over his life, but because of his interesting beginnings as well. He was born in Burkina Faso, one of the world's least educated and most impoverished nations. A land devoid of clean drinking water, electricity and infrastructure, let alone architecture. It is growing up here that Kere understood what architecture, or lack of, can do to any region. In his own words, I grew up in a community where there was no kindergarten, but where community was your family. Everyone took care of you and the entire village was your playground. My days were filled with securing food and water, but also simply being together, talking together, building houses together. I remember the room where my grandmother would sit and tell stories with a little light, while we would huddle close to each other and a voice inside the room enclosed us, summoning us to come closer and form a safe place. This was my first sense of architecture. Kere was the oldest son of the village chief and the first in his community to attend school. But his home city of Gando did not have a school at the time. So he had to leave his family at the age of 7 to go and study. But even being away from his family, he wasn't in a fancy, beautifully designed space. His small childhood classroom was constructed of cement blocks and lacked ventilation and light. Trapped in that extreme climate with over 100 classrooms for hours at a time, he vowed to one day make schools better. In 1985, he uprooted again and traveled to Berlin on a vocational carpentry scholarship, learning to make roofs and furniture by day while attending secondary classes at night. He was awarded a scholarship to attend a university in Berlin in 1995, and in 2004, he graduated with an advanced degree in architecture. So studying architecture in a foreign country did have an influence on his design style. But no matter how far Kere got, he never forgot about his homeland and about his childhood. He remembered his vow to build better schools for his village, and he soon established a foundation with which he raised funds and advocated for a child's right to a comfortable classroom. In 2001, he built his first project, and that was the Gando Primary School. It was a building built by and for the people. Locals offered their input, labor and resources from conception to completion, crafting nearly every part of the school by hand, guided by Kere's inventive forms of indigenous materials and modern engineering. His design was geared to combat extreme heat and poor lighting conditions with limited resources. As he said, "Good architecture in Burkina Faso is a classroom where you can sit, have light that is filtered, entering the way that you want to use it, across a blackboard or a desk. How can we take away the heat coming from the sun but use the light to our benefit? Creating climate conditions to give basic comfort allows for true teaching, learning and excitement." Indigenous clay was fortified with cement to form bricks with bioclimatic thermal mass, retaining cooler air inside while allowing heat to escape through a brick ceiling and wide, overhanging, elevated roof, resulting in ventilation without the mechanical intervention of air conditioning. The success of this project increased the school student body from 120 to 700 students. And later, more buildings were added like the teachers' housing, an extension of the school, and a library. The success of this project awarded him the Aga Khan Award for Architecture in 2004 and was the catalyst for establishing his practice, Kere Architecture in Berlin in 2005. The realization of additional primary, secondary, post-secondary and medical facilities soon followed throughout Burkina Faso, Kenya, Mozambique and Uganda. Kere's built work in Africa have yielded exponential results, not only by providing academic education for children and medical treatment for the unwell, but also by providing occupational opportunities and vocational skills for adults, therefore serving and stabilizing the future of entire communities. So the reason his architecture is important is not just because of what he creates, but how he creates it. In the jury citation for the Pritzker Prize, they said, "He knows from within that architecture is not about the object, but the objective. Not the product, but the process." Francis Kéré's entire body of work shows us the power of materiality rooted in place. His buildings for and with communities are directly of those communities, in their making, their materials, their programs, and their unique characters. The impact of his work in primary and secondary schools catalyzed the inception of many institutions, each demonstrating sensitivity to bioclimatic environments and sustainability distinctive to locality and impacting many generations. Let's talk about some of his works. Startup Lions Campus in Kenya, an information and communication technologies campus, uses local quarry stone and stack towers for passive cooling to minimize the air conditioning required to protect technology equipment. Burkina Institute of Technology is composed of cooling clay walls that were cast in situ to accelerate the building process. Now, nature and symbolism are also a huge part of his work. The West African tradition of communing under a sacred tree to exchange ideas, narrate stories, celebrate and assemble is one that you will see in a lot of his works. Sarbale Ke at Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival translates to the house of celebration in his native Bisa language and references the shape of the hollowing baobab tree revered in his homeland for its medicinal properties. The Serpentine Pavilion also takes its central shape from the form of a tree, and its disconnected yet curved walls are formed by triangular indigo modules, identifying with color representing strength in his culture and, more personally, a blue bobo garment worn by the architect as a child. The detached roof resonates with that of his buildings in Africa, but inside the pavilion, rainwater funnels into the center of the structure, highlighting water scarcity that is experienced worldwide. The Benin National Assembly, currently under construction and situated on a public park, is inspired by the palaver tree. While Parliament convenes on the inside, citizens may also assemble under the vast shade at the base of the building. So time and time again, with project after project, his solutions have been local, all distinct, and yet he takes a part of his culture and his upbringing everywhere. And the best part is his architecture yearns to get people involved in the whole process. So remember the question I posed at the start of this video. Can architecture truly change the lives of people? Now I think it can, but not just by itself. It's not just a piece of structure that can do this alone, but how it is created, the process behind it. And that is what Kere's work shows. I would like to quickly show you the selected works that got him to be awarded the prize in 2022. And while we see the projects, I would like to read out some lines from the jury citation. In a world in crisis, amidst changing values and generations, he reminds us of what has been and will undoubtedly continue to be the cornerstone of architectural practice, a sense of community and narrative quality, which he himself is so able to recount with compassion and pride. In this, he provides a narrative in which architecture can become a source of continued and lasting happiness and joy. So now I hope you get a better idea of who this man is and what is the kind of architecture he practices, and why he was chosen as the winner for the Pritzker Prize 2022. There is a lot more to discuss about his life and his work, but I want to keep this video short, and I think I will make a detailed one exploring all his designs very soon. But before we leave, I would like to end this video with some very beautiful words by Kere. I am hoping to change the paradigm, push people to dream and undergo risk. It is not because you are rich that you should waste material. It is not because you are poor that you should not try to create quality. Everyone deserves quality. Everyone deserves luxury. And everyone deserves comfort. We are interlinked, and concerns in climate, democracy and scarcity are concerns for us all. And that was it, you guys. That was my video for the Pritzker winner 2022, Diébédo Francis Kéré. I hope you liked that video and got something from it. Now let me know your thoughts on this year's selection and his work down in the comments below. Before you leave, do consider supporting this channel. There are two ways. One, via Patreon, the link will be in the description, and the second is by becoming a channel member. The link can be found in the description, plus you can also click the join button below to know more. Your support will help me so I can keep creating such content. And yeah, that was it. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, to share this video and to subscribe to Blessedarch. And I will see you guys very soon with more such content. Until then, bye bye.